player off the bench in a playoff win since Jay Fiedler back in 1999. And then in our nation's capital, Tom Brady leading the Bucs, their first playoff win since Super Bowl 37. Brady threw for 381 yards, his fourth most ever in a playoff game. And that sets up this. A pair of 40-year-old quarterbacks will highlight next weekend the top scoring offense against the top scoring defense, a 2018 quarterback draft matchup. What a spectacular weekend next weekend figures to be as the NFL playoffs continue next week. And, you know, Dan, you were telling us this morning that there is one player that you believe is the key to Tampa making a run to the Super Bowl. Who is that player?
Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has become an integral part of this pass game for Tampa Bay. We're talking about multiple touches. Now that he's settled in, he's gotten into the rhythm of this offense and he's got his feet back underneath him. Multiple ways to get him the football. He's winning on routes. That was the big thing that didn't happen when he first started playing to that's happening now. He's winning against man coverage. He's seeing the field the same way as Tom Brady in the zones, throttling when he needs to, sitting in between linebackers when he needs to. Last 5 games, Tom Brady to AB, 77% completion percentage. That tells me that Tom trusts him. 10.4 yards per attempt. So they're pushing the ball downfield a lot, and then 5 touchdowns. The last time that Antonio Brown was actually on the football team, okay, not the first game back from sitting out for 18 months, but on the football team was 2 years ago in Pittsburgh. And they went on the road to play against New Orleans, and he had 14 for 185 and 2 touchdowns. He has become a matchup problem for this Tampa Bay offense. Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, who are you going to cover? I think he's a huge, huge part of this game moving forward this weekend.
RC, what do you think? That's Antonio Brown. Obviously, so many things have happened since the last time we saw him on a stage like this, but he does figure to be an important piece.
You know what? When you look at this offense, it was very Golden State Warrior-ish, right? When they won the 73 games, you felt like they could do anything. That's why we were so excited about Tom Brady. And then I kind of felt the same way I felt about KD going there as I felt Antonio Brown. I was like, oh, this is a luxury. No, this was a necessity. And we're starting to see that necessity play itself out. Because now Mike Evans, when he draws that #1 coverage, you get to see Antonio Brown work on guys who shouldn't be covering him. He's still a #1 receiver. And now with the play-action game going, with the protection of Tom Brady being a priority for Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians, this team is different. This isn't just the 7-step drop team that had Tom Brady sitting back there like a sitting duck, because they realized if we keep this dude clean, he is still one of the best quarterbacks in the world. And when he gets pressured, he's more like Sam Darnold. And that's what they've started to do. The play-action pass, they're keeping extra linemen in the backfield, blocking Rob Gronkowski, and you can do that because 81 is on the outside now. This team is playing offense at a very high level, and they're playing very efficiently. This is going to be exciting to see them go up against the New Orleans Saints, who have been their kryptonite this year and, quite frankly, embarrassed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the last time that they met. This is a different Tampa Bay team, also a different New Orleans team. This is the matchup of the weekend, and I can't wait to see it.
The combined age of the quarterbacks in that game is 84 years old. We'll have all week long to look forward to that. Meanwhile, I've got Adam Schefter with us all morning long here, standing by to run the hurry up. And let's run through some coaching stuff to begin here. What is the latest on Urban Meyer? Shefty.
Doug Rainey, he's begun assembling a staff of assistant coaches should he decide to take the Jacksonville job. The two sides have been in contact. He was on the boat Friday night with Shad Khan, Tony Khan, going over the job. He's considering to mold that, but he is assembling a staff that includes some college coaches in the event that he does decide to make the jump to the NFL. And as Chris Mortensen reported on Sunday Countdown, Doug Peterson is scheduled to meet this week with Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie after the first meeting between the two men did not go exactly great. I think Lurie's looking for more answers, and as Mort said, Doug Peterson's future right now is in the balance, and we'll see what they have come out of that meeting, but it is not certain that Peterson is safe in Philadelphia just yet. And as we also talked about on Sunday Countdown, Deshaun Watson really unhappy with the way that events unfolded in Houston last week. And people could say, oh, it's an overreaction, it's early. But I was told that if his anger level was a quote-unquote 2 last year after they traded DeAndre Hopkins away, his anger level now is at a 10. And it's at a 10 because the Texans went to him for advice and recommendations on what to do going forward. He gave some feedback that was basically ignored during the process, and it was ignored in favor of bringing in someone else from New England after they've had a history of people in New England leaving Deshaun Watson very unhappy. He's been on vacation. He hasn't spoken to the team. My understanding is that this is going to be a long-term deal, that he may want to be traded. He may opt to withhold his services. And again, it's early in the offseason, but this bears watching, Greeny.
Yes, Nick Caserio is the man they've hired to be their general manager at this point, and there is a head coaching vacancy there. Fascinating. Rex, you were there on Sunday Countdown yesterday, obviously. What is your big picture take right now on Deshaun?
Yeah, I just thought it was crazy. I mean, number one, I get it. If you bought a franchise, then you can hire whoever the heck you want. I get that. But why would you go to this young man and say, listen, I want your input, and then just and totally disregard it? So if you're going to say that he's going to be part of the process, then allow him to be part of the process. And so to me, it was just, it's a bad